wherever you may be. This is Dr. Sarah Langley, and we are here talking about advancing in adversity. This whole series that we had designed and developed for you to help you to know how to advance in adversity, going, how to get through, how to get over, how to overcome, but by way of advancing in it. How do you advance while you're in adversity? And we are winding down to our time. This has been awesome. And I wanted to make sure that I had the chance to connect with you as we wind down our time together. Um, at the time of this recording, coming towards the end of the month, and just wanted to check in with you. I just could not stay away. Even if I had an idea to or thought to, it's like we have been trailblazing these past couple of months, and there was no way I was going to just sit back. Now, my co-host Danny was not able to join us today. She'll join with us tomorrow, but that wasn't an excuse for me to not check in with you to see how you're doing. So please, first of all, thank you for your time. You can choose any platform, any live or any webinar, any masterclass, but you have decided to choose this one. And I'm really, really thankful and grateful to you for making that commitment, that time, because your time is valuable and precious. So thank you so much. First of all, tell me who you are, where you're from, and tell me how your day was today. One or two. One, if you had a great day. Two, if you had a so-so day. And if you had a so-so day, what made it a so-so day? And what do you plan to do differently to turn that 2 into a 1 tomorrow? So put it in the comment section for me. I'm checking it out. So let me know how your day was. If you were a 1 today, then let me know. That means that was a great day. 2, if it was a so-so day. And if it was a so-so day, what made it a so-so day? And what do you plan to do differently to turn that 2 into a 1 tomorrow? All right, so let's talk about it. Now, Danny usually does like the hot topics, right? Her clapback topics. I was checking out on social media and I saw how at the time of this recording, we had a couple of things that had happened over the weekend. Juneteenth, Father's Day. So how was your weekend? How did you celebrate? How did you enjoy? For all the fathers out there who's watching, happy belated Father's Day to you. I hope that you enjoyed yourself. I would talk about my dad, but you didn't jump on this live for me to talk about my daddy. But he's funny. I tell you the truth, he's funny. I had planned to do something with him, and usually he likes to be on time. He used to come at me. I like to be on time for things. And well, back then. Now I do like to be on time for things, but I doesn't necessarily mean that I'm on time for things. But back in the day, growing up with him, I used to like being on time. But he likes to be on early. So one time he wanted me to drop him off at the train station one time. And he had the nerve to have me to come all the way from, I think I was living in Maryland, I came to Philadelphia, and he said that he had to be there at a certain time. I got there early enough, and the nerve of him talking about, oh, well, I don't have to really be there at the train station until like 2 or 3 hours. But because of who you are, I wanted to make sure that you were around. You didn't have anything else to do, so you want to sit here and wait with me until it's time for us to go to the train station. Are we serious, sir? So I tell you the truth, when it comes to my dad now, if I were to do the tick for tack thing, I wanted to take him out for his, for Father's Day, do something, just get him out the house. And he was not ready. He made me wait like 6+ hours. I said, you know what, Dad, then we're just not going out. Now, all of a sudden, when I said that we weren't going out, now he's ready to go. And so I made him wait for a couple of hours. And then he realized it was just too late. It was dark outside. And I said, he's like, well, what happened? I was ready. I was waiting for you. I said, you're 2 hours waiting for me versus my 6 hours. So needless to say, he got a happy Father's Day acknowledgement. But that was about it. And of course, we just appreciate each other's time. I am so grateful and thankful for my dad being here and living as long as he has. So that in and of itself is a great father's gift. As a matter of fact, he said the same thing, that he was just happy that he's with his, child and he gets to see another year. So that was our great day, Father's Day. I hope that yours were more eventful. But yeah, in regards to talking about today, the topics that came up so far during this time of the recording, we had with NASCAR. Who's seen that? I believe the gentleman Bubba Wallace, is that his name? And how he's African American, the only full-time driver for NASCAR, and what was something that was despicable turned out to be something that was in solidarity. You know, like he found a noose on his garage stall, and then I saw a video in regards to him riding in his car, and like I guess his NASCAR teammates, foes, everybody was just like walking with him. Well, walking while he was driving the car, and then he got out of the car, and everybody was just acknowledging him and just hugging him, and it was like such a touching moment. Who's seen that? I saw that, and I was just like, wow, I started crying. It was very, very touching. I did see someone who had commented. They said, like, so while all of us were commenting and saying, oh, that was so touching, I cried. One person said, look, that's all nice, but someone in that camp put that noose there. And we need to now use this sobering moment as an opportunity to talk about this, to bring awareness as to, racism still existing and what we're going to do. Have you had those conversations for the past few weeks? Have you had those conversations in regards to what should be done differently so that we can all get different results, as opposed to doing the same thing and expecting different results? Because that was insanity all this time. We were just insane in the way, as a country, how we were handling and managing things as if this stuff doesn't exist. So I'm so grateful that many of us are now raising our voices. And I want to acknowledge you. However you are making your way in raising your voice, speaking your voice, as my book is called, speaking your voice in regards to racism, about, inequality, injustice, how you may not be the one who has a platform or use your social media influence to speak your voice, but you may, in fact, do something such as sharing this video out. That's a way that you are actually getting the word out, and you can be proud of yourself in what you are doing. Don't discount or discredit what you are doing if you feel like it's small compared to others. That's the problem. A lot of times we're always comparing ourselves to someone else. I was counseling all day, and the theme for my clients today, I always look at everything as a theme, like trying to chunk it down into what is the main theme, what is the main challenge or problem or issue that is coming up for everyone today. And it seems like that is the issue in regards to comparison. And how do you ever get to win if you're always focusing on everyone else? If you're focusing on everyone else, it's one thing to study people, to study your competitors, to study how your person or the person that you are in competition with is moving and calculating that. It's another when you're comparing and then hating. And when you're hating, you're really stuck because you're too busy being upset at yourself, really. Because here's the thing, here's a key thing when it comes to another counseling tip here. When we are at each other, when we're arguing or we're calling people out on things that we don't like about themselves, it really always goes back to us. So something that you may not like in that person, you may find that thing going on within yourself. And you may not be aware of it, I don't know, but it's just psychological. Things that we do not like in other people tend to show up in our own selves, and we can't get rid of it. We think we cannot get rid of it or change it. So therefore we project onto someone else. But rather, instead of doing all that, make the time to work on yourself. Make the time to get to know who you are. What are your likes? What are your dislikes? What are your feelings? What are your thoughts? Beyond just the basic of acknowledgement, saying that, okay, this is how I feel about a situation. This is what I'm thinking about a situation. But really, like, dig in deep as to what it means for you. What does it say about you? And how can you use it or leverage it in such a way to make you even better? To actually supersede past, to go past your competitor or the ones that you're hating or the ones that you're comparing yourself with. There's no need for us to compare ourselves to one another. We all are our own unique beings, and we all complement each other. If we were to now not, that's the whole issue when it comes to racism, right? It really comes down to it as the fact that one race thinks that they're superior or better than the other. And no, we all pretty much are equal. We all the same. And that's what we're asking for now, right here and right now. And that we're not taking no for an answer. As a matter of fact, I see my buddy, Brother Bedford. Thank you for tuning in, Brother Bedford. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. What's interesting is I'm paraphrasing a quote that he was sharing. He always shares morning thoughts. And he was like, you know what, instead of us asking, I'm paraphrasing, he said, instead of us asking, just take it. We don't have to ask for permission. And that is so, so true. things that we want. We're looking for, from the left to the right, we're looking for affirmation. We're looking for confirmation. We're looking for assurance. We're looking for someone to amen something that we're doing. We're looking for permission from someone else. So I'm gearing you up to position you to win right now. First of all, we have to identify what are those barriers? What are those blocks? I already named a couple. One is you're comparing yourself to other people. There's no need for you to do that. Look at what you have and look at what you have and look at what you're striving to gain. If you see it in other people and you're upset at the fact that that person is doing something, they're striving, they're thriving based on your perception, because what striving is what is relative, thriving is relative. You know, what I may classify as I'm thriving may be different to how you classify thriving to be for yourself. So we have to kind of consider factors so that we don't have, be like spinning our wheels or being on a hamster wheel, being stuck. It's time for us to get us unstuck, especially at this point in this time. Like, we should strike while the iron is hot right now and position yourself accordingly to win. So let me back up. I want to first say thank you for tuning in. This is Dr. Sarah Renee Langley, and this is Advancing in Adversity. So I appreciate your time as we're winding down our whole month long in conversation regarding how to advance in adversity. It's one thing for us to advance through, above, beyond, or back, we're trying to avoid, we're trying to deflect. We don't really want to face certain situations, but I tell you the truth, it's in the adversity that we should find opportunity when it's difficult. We should find opportunity in every difficulty rather than finding difficulty in every opportunity. Did you catch that? You see the shift in perspective? If you look at it differently, you will get a different result. But you cannot look at this and tell me that you are doing different things and you're not getting a different result. That just says that you're not doing different. You're doing the same thing. That is the barometer. That's the acid test. When you get the same thing, that means that you're doing the same thing. If you're doing different, you will absolutely get different. So let's now fix our mindset to focus on how do we get different or do different to get different. And here's what you can do to advance in adversity. This is what you can do to set yourself up for wins. So Brandy, hey 253, thank you for tuning in. Hey Tamika, Jordan, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Hey Andre, all my 253ers, checking me out. Go ahead and happy 26th anniversary. I don't know if it's anniversary. Today marks 26 years that I had graduated from high school. I know, Zakia, I know. Do I look it? I look 26, right? But yes, 26 years that I graduated from high school. Lord Jesus. But I tell you the truth, I'm so entirely grateful to have lived the life that I've lived to be where I am today and making the decisions. I am putting all the key nuggets out there to you right now just to help you to set up yourself for winning. So let's back up. We're going to do this step by step by step by step. How do you position yourself to win? How do you truly advance in adversity? First, it always comes down to, and I'm saying the same thing because I want to make sure that it gets into your subconscious mindset, because it's your subconscious that's driving everything. It's your subconsciousness that actually calls the shots, meaning that you are now, it's on autopilot. Whatever you're doing that you do as second nature is because you have consistently, repeatedly practiced it over and over and over and over and over. But now it's a matter of us looking at it differently in terms of bringing our consciousness to make it aware of our subconsciousness, what we're thinking that's on autopilot. So in other words, for you to set yourself up to win, the first thing you have to do is make a decision. You got to decide that you want to win. You have to decide that you want to advance. You have to decide that you want to be on top of your game. You have to decide. You have to make the decision to decide. Decide right here, right now, that you are a winner. Second thing that you have to do is speak it. Acknowledge it. Speak that back to yourself, that I am a winner. I have, since I set up my office here, so I have this, right? So every day when I step into my office here, when I roll over out the bed and then come over here and sit on my couch, I look at this and I speak this to myself, who I am. I am is so powerful because it represents God. It represents your ability to create, because it's based on what we speak into a thing. It's not so much about, how people used to say that uh, words hurt more than fists. Because it's like you can get bruised and it can heal, but when those words are spoken over you, it truly can dictate your next step. So, first thing in the morning, what you can do is decide. Next thing is to speak life into yourself, who you are. Another theme that I noticed today in my counseling sessions was not just about comparison, but also self esteem and self image, and how not always thinking negatively about yourself and not realizing how you think about yourself speaks back into your subconsciousness. When you say whatever you say into your subconsciousness, it's like your subconsciousness has to respond accordingly. So in other words, if you think that you're a bad person, then watch how everything sets it up to make that true. If you say that you are a great person, then watch how everything works and conspires together to make that true. It is truly based on, that's why I always say, first and foremost, make a decision, decide how you want your day to be. So to set yourself up for wins, let's now make a decision of you being a winner. Next thing, you say who you are. I am a winner. Speak that over yourself. Make sure that you say that repeatedly, because really what you have said to yourself in a negative fashion that impacted your self-esteem and your self-image was said repeatedly, whether it's by other people and you accepted that as true, whether you started to join in and you with the party and you started to say, yes, you too are, not good enough, or you're a bad person. So it's a matter of now replacing those thoughts with positive ones so that you can produce positive results. And it may be easier said than done, but with practice, it's interesting. With practice and time, you will eventually, inevitably change your mindset. This is what we're talking about. I was looking to work out, right? So, because I used to just be in the gym. Now, look, I'd rather work out in my house and just put it on YouTube and watch these videos. But I remember looking at one of the gym memberships, or, these different gym subscriptions, right? Workout subscriptions. And one was talking about how, in 14 days you can have, the banging body, the hourglass shape and everything in 14 days. Or you can look young again, you can look like you're 20 and you're 64 in 14 days. And so someone has said in there, in the comment section, about how, that takes too long. Like, I don't think it's going to take just 14 days. But why should I invest? This is what they said. Why should I invest in this when I want results right now? That is such an automatic thought. I'm trying to help you out right now, y'all. To set yourselves up for winner to win, you have to now really know what are those unspoken rules, those unspoken thoughts that you have that you don't even realize that you have. It's just on autopilot. But dang it, you keep getting the same result and you don't understand why. Being insane about it. It's because you have to address. That's why I always say you have to make the time to come to know who you are. How do you do that? You take time. I had challenged you guys and gals for at least 7 days to, first thing in the morning, you actually hone in and process. Sit still, be quiet, and let the thoughts flow. Let your heart flow. Free associate. And free association, this means just allowing the thoughts to come without worry that you're going to have these negative thoughts, because you're already thinking negatively. It is about you putting in the effort and the work to get the results that you're looking for. It's not about you looking to someone, especially when it comes to therapy, especially when it comes to coaching. It seems like many look for someone to do the work for them, or they're just looking for someone to tell them what to do. But if they're not trained to do it, if it's not in your mindset to do it, how do you expect to get the results that you're looking for? You have to be, oh my gosh, there I say these words, responsible, accountable for your own transformation, for your own healing. Is that not right, my coach Tawana? Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate that. Thank you for tuning in. Look, it is about you. In order for you to win, to become a winner, as we are wrapping up our whole series in regards to advancing in adversity, this should be the takeaway for you, to make a decision, to decide to be a winner, to put in the work and the effort. It's way worth more than what you have right now in terms of complaining and crying and moaning and hating on other people, when you can do better and have more. You know you can. That's the problem. You know that you can do better. You know you can do even more than what the people that you're watching and hating on and throwing shade. Why use that energy and effort and time doing that? You could use that energy, effort, and time towards making you your best self. Yes or yes? So that said, 7 days, 7 days, 5 to 10 minutes a day. Start your day off deciding to shape your reality, to shape your day, to call the shots. What's also interesting, another counseling tip for you, is a lot of times people think that, okay, when we give you advice, when we give you suggestions, when we give you tips and tools and strategies, that people are looking for, again, the immediate results right now. We have been so beyond program and conditioning to think that things happen overnight, that things are supposed to be hunky-dory and perfect and pretty and everything just working out. But it's amazing. That is not life. Life really is here to help us. It conspires to help us to get and to become our true living selves, our real live selves, beyond who we are today. And that means that it is mixed with the good and the bad, but they play part for our total transformation and wholeness, like realness of who we really are beyond the titles and the roles that we wear and the hats that we wear. So what am I saying? I'm saying put in the time and the effort. Decide to put in the time and the effort to become who you are called to become. To have more, to do more, and to be more than what you are right now and what you have right now. And you do that by making the time. Because right now, that's going to actually shape or reprogram your mindset to make you or tell your subconscious that you are important, that you are worthy, that you are valuable, that you are entitled. Let me see. That you are fearless, that you are motivated, that you are worthy, that you are valuable, that you are wise, that you are important, that you are confident, that you are deserving, that you are enough. That's how you win. Winning is beyond just the material tangibles. The wins are really in the intangibles. How you feel about yourself, how you see yourself, your self-worth, your self-image, your value, your self-esteem. Those intangibles really call the shots. This is how you win. You don't wait like many of my clients have, and it's understandable because you don't know what you don't know. People come into therapy and they're looking for advice, they're looking for a tool or a tip or a strategy. It's given. Hey, this is what you do, A, B, C, D. Their expectation is to apply it and that it's going to fix how they feel, or it's going to get rid of the bad feelings, or whatever the case is. And that is the wrong expectation to have, because you're going to always set yourself up for disappointment. And when you set yourself up for disappointment, that type of vibration that's a low vibration, to which you're going to attract more of that low vibration. Everything is going to conspire to keep that narrative going. Unless you decide, unless you interrupt that pattern and that cycle, of replacing it with a new thought, a new attitude, a new posture, a new position, a new outlook, a new decision that you want different, you're going to get different. You're going to do what is necessary to make it happen, because you are a winner. Yes, so yes, put that in the comment section. I am a winner. When you say that to yourself, watch how everything aligns and works out in your favor to become that. Now, that includes, though, you have to be honest and you have to accept what is when it comes to life. That will include the bad stuff to help you to be a winner, because now you have to pretty much unlearn and get unprogrammed pretty much. Got to kind of erase all the negative thinking that has motivated you or mobilized you in the direction that you don't want to go anymore, because that narrative no longer serves you. You're trying to tell yourself that you're a winner, but you keep meditating that you're a loser, as opposed to changing your mindset, replacing it with positive thoughts, and saying it every day, specifically and particularly when everything is good. There is a passage in the Bible to prepare for war in time for peace. All right, prepare for war in time of peace. Prepare for war in time of peace. While everything is fine, that is the perfect time that you should work on yourself. That's the time that you apply the tools, the tips, the strategies, when everything is fine. But we tend not to do that because, hey, everything is fine. It's not needed for that. But that's not the point of how you use the tool. You use the tool when everything is fine, so that you build yourself up. You're repeating that. You're now putting it to practice so that when that challenge comes, you're already built up for it. That's how you work your tools, your strategies, your tips. Not when, okay, from a coaching perspective, you're trying to make a certain amount of money and you're deciding, to do this launch. You're like, okay, I'm going to launch my program, my product, my service. And you only giving yourself but a week, if that, to launch it because you're in a point of desperation. You need the money. You got to make it happen. You're on a hustle mode. But all that strain, all that stress, all that calamity, all that you're trying to press through while everything is challenging for you. And you think that you win when you got beaten up, battered, bruised, and bloodied up to try to make that certain amount of money. When then you look at Jamal, right? Hey, Jamal, thank you for tuning in. I hope all is well with you and your family. You look at Jamal and how he just, riding and gliding on Easy Street, and how he's making, his launches of his product, his service, his program look effortless. And now you're hating on him because he didn't seem to get battered up and bruised and bloodied and beaten down to getting that launch done, because his mindset was different, because his approach was different, because he knew that the formula and the strategy that works like clockwork for everyone else is to give yourself a certain amount of time, and it's not going to be contingent or a motivator by which it's because you are in need, because you are desperate, because you are in lack, but it's the mindset. You keep thinking one way, you keep thinking negatively, you're going to get more of the same. You think positively, you're going to get more of the same. And a lot of times we sabotage it because we're so used to the negative, even though we don't want it. But because it's familiar, we can navigate through it. And it seems we'll convince ourselves that it makes more sense to stay there. We just wish that we didn't have the feeling associated with it. We just want to stay in functioning in the dysfunction without all the calamity and the dysfunction that goes with it. We don't want to feel it. But if we could call it without having to put any effort or work into it, yeah, it's just human nature, unfortunately, because of how we've been programmed and conditioned. So all this that I'm telling you is to uncondition, like it's to recondition you right, so that you can be a winner. So that now it's not just you saying it, but it aligns based on your action, not just by word, but by deed, by truth, and you make it true. So everyone, I thank y'all for tuning in. Hey, Carol, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hey, Shakira, thank you for tuning in. All my 253ers. Really appreciate your time. So as I wrap up this time, we were talking about how to be a winner. How do you advance in adversity and come out a winner? Decision is first and foremost. Then from there, you start to look at what are you? Who are you? Who do you want to become? What's going on with you right now? Identifying your feelings and your thoughts. More beyond just the basic of, okay, this is how I feel. Like really dive in as to why you feel this way. What's having you to feel this way? So then it puts you in position of control. At the end of the day, it is about regaining control. It is about us being able to call the shots on our lives. With the whole pandemic, it really impacted us the way that it did in horrendous ways. And that's just an understatement. Because of the fact that we had loss of control of our finances, of our jobs, of our loved ones who we have lost, and more. Having to homeschool and never, don't even know how to do that. And then having our time for our own selves taken away. So all of that played part and it's added to the calamity, to the sadness, to the depression, to the anxiety, to the uncertainty, to the loneliness, to the bitterness, to the anxiety, to everything. So it's understandable. Our bodies, our mindset is set up in such a way to serve us, to protect us. So the coping strategies come in, the coping mechanisms kick in, but then it's a matter of what type of coping mechanisms are kicking in, negative or positive. For many, people start to go really downhill. And I'll be honest with you, I was heading down that path as well. I was trying my best to, and it's not even try, either you do or you don't. So I attempted to really stay afloat. And what helped me was making time to talk with you, to use my gift and talents to now be a blessing and to share how do you overcome during the pandemic, how to advance in adversity. So what am I saying to you? It's about you gaining control, regaining control so that you call the shots. I was going to talk about this in regards to what are you doing to set yourself up for wins. So let me just go ahead and give you the whole formula or time frame here, step by step by step. First, decide. Decide that you're a winner. Decide that you're going to do. You're going to hold yourself accountable. You're going to be responsible. You're going to take ownership on now giving yourself permission to become a whole, full, glorious self beyond the role and title. That's going to shift your mindset now to bring it to conscious state that you are now telling yourself that you are a winner, that you are valuable, that you are important, that you're adding yourself into the equation. You're including yourself in the equation of everyone else, that you make sure that everyone else is taken care of. You're going to make sure that you're taken care of as opposed to expecting everybody else to help you and take care of you because you're caring for everyone else. No. That doesn't mean that they are held accountable. Just because you're doing it doesn't mean that they have to do it. See? Clarity, shift in perspective. So you make sure that you take care of yourself because then everyone else will follow suit by how the example that you leave or you state or you set for us to follow, to treat you. So how you treat you will be the way that we're going to treat you. So treat yourself right. Decide. Take that time to get to know who you are, your feelings, your emotions. 5 to 7 days, 7 days tops. 5 to 10 minutes out of your day, first thing in the morning, to sit still, to be quiet, to free associate, to allow the thoughts and feelings to come, to now get in touch with your feelings and your emotions. What are they saying? So that they can lead the inspiration, the answers to questions that you have, so that you can now shape your day, putting yourself in control of shaping your day the way that you desire for it to become, to unfold. And then from there, that's positioning you to now gain control. When we feel like we are winners, like now that it's one thing to say it, but to now set it up in such a way that you are a winner by way of your actions, ownership. Tell you the truth. So we're talking about, for many of us, we're talking about buying black, right? Black wealth. And we're supporting black businesses. Well, another way that you can do it, it could be a twofold win, is that you can invest in black businesses. Like literally buy stocks, and invest. You now do that research and talk to a broker or, someone who manages when it comes to stocks and trades. You need to now do the research or talk to people who have suggestions or recommendations of those who help with that. Put yourself in a position of ownership. Own something. Beyond just, if your house isn't paid for, I'm talking about like really take advantage of owning something. Otherwise, if you own your house, like you actually paid the mortgage and it's yours, then yes, put yourself in a position to win. If you paid off your car, then awesome, you own that thing. Start thinking about what you can control and what you do control, what you do own. I tell you the truth, that makes a world of difference with your psyche. That makes a world of difference with your attitude. That makes a world of difference with your outlook and perspective. And when you think more about that, you're going to get more of the same. That is how winners win. You think about winning. And it's not like at all costs and no matter what, even at your expense, but rather position yourself right where you come out shining like a diamond without even getting battered, bruised, and bloodied up. You don't have to do that. You can still be intact and still win and rise to the occasion to be on top. So With that said, I hope that this was helpful. It's just a matter of making sure, like when I was saying earlier about how I use this time to get myself out of situations or feeling, uncertain or sad or depressed by looking at what I have. Look at what you have. Don't look at anyone else. Look at what you have and what you possess and how can you work it? How can you make it work for yourself and for others? How do you now position yourself to be a winner? Decide, take the time to come to know who you are, mind, body, and spirit, feelings, thoughts, behaviors. You take the time for yourself, 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes a day before you start your day, before anything else, before social media, before your phone, your daggone laptop, your work, your family. Make time for yourself because now you're retraining your mindset to say that you are important and that you should be added into the equation. And then finally, position yourself to own, to control, to look at what you can control, to look at what you do possess, to look at what you have. All that will help you with your subconsciousness, with your mental state, to now position you as you advance in adversity. As we come to a close this week with our Advancing in Adversity series and preparing for the next series, that it will position you to now win and keep going. You prepare right now while everything is fine or when everything is just, pretty much stable. You build yourself up, your self-esteem, your self-image, your self-worth, your self-value. You start positioning yourself right now where everything is at peace. Remember, prepare for war at time of peace. Use this opportunity to find opportunity in every difficulty versus difficulty in every opportunity. So use this opportunity right now to decide to build yourself up and prepare so that when stuff comes, and also accept that good and bad, it works together for your good all the time. So let's not chuck the bad stuff that happens. With it, use it to your advantage so that you can truly become who you are called and designed to become beyond the title and the roles that you have. It's more to you than what meets the eye. It's time for you to see that for yourself. And this is the way, this is the formula, this is the strategy, this is the tool, this is the tip to helping you to advance in adversity by being a winner. So I thank you for your time. If you found value in this video, please tag, like, and share because sharing is caring. And I tell you the truth, I'm looking forward to seeing you. Again, you make sure that you use this to your advantage, your own gifts and talents to help yourself out. We don't have the gifts and talents for ourselves. It is to help other people. Isn't that right, Trisha? It is, isn't it? Didn't we learn that? Listen, on Oak Grove Baptist Church, it is a matter of making sure that we use our gifts and talents that we have been blessed with to be a blessing. It's not just for you to hold on to it. It is for you to use it so that now everyone, including yourself, be blessed. So everybody, thank you for your time. This is Dr. Sarah Renee Langley, your host and moderator with Advancing in Adversity. Again, you found value, please share this out because sharing is caring and you never know, you just might save a life in the process. So have a great one and see you tomorrow. Take care.